So tomorrow I've got to go and run the Hackney Half Marathon, and I'm going to go and run it in these, the brand new Brooks Hyperion Elite number 5. So before we head over to Hackney, I thought it'd be pretty awesome to find out what's new here, find out what's going on with this brand new shoe. And as I say, we're going to take it over to the Hackney Half, and I'm going to try and run as fast as I can in this shoe. Right guys, so this is the very cool looking Brooks Hyperion Elite 5. Now the Hyperion Elite had some big changes actually recently, because they brought out the 4PB. Now we've done some videos on that. Now the reason that got a massive update is because they introduced some PEBA foam in there. Now that's called DNA Gold, the Brooks PEBA foam, and they've actually introduced that into this shoe now as well. So the Hyperion Elite is the top end racing shoe from the guys from Brooks. This is your half marathon racing shoe, and that's why I wanted to take it to the Hackney Half tomorrow. So before we head over to Hackney, let's dive in with the stats and features and tell you what's new here on version 5. So the Hyperion Elite 5, like I said, features the DNA Gold PEBA midsole. We've got a Speed Track, a lightweight rubber outsole on the shoe. We've got a carbon fibre Speedvolt Race Plus plate. I'll show you that in just a second. We've got a full TPU pressed upper. Stack height's coming in at 40 with a 32 down at the forefoot, so that's an 8mm drop. This shoe's weighing 216 grams in my UK 9.5, so that's about 7.5 ounces off the top of my head. It is a snug racing fit. The shoe is coming out on the 1st of July. It's $275 on the spec sheet that I got sent, and that's probably about it. Okay, let's take a closer look. So firstly, one of the best things on this shoe is this upper. This upper is incredible. I really loved the upper on the previous version, but this is unbelievable. Just look at all the holes in there. It's so breathable. It's unreal. So the laces continue to be really good. Brooks has done a very good job actually on their laces of late, and Adidas, I want you to take note, because these laces are what you need on your racing shoes. So the most striking thing on this shoe is probably these sort of lumps and bumps or bubbles or whatever you want to call them. And what this is, they're on the medial side as well. So what we've got is a point here where they've tried to cut out to save weight. They've kept the connection to give that sort of mid-foot support and also propulsion, let's say, using, I don't know if you can see, actually it's better on this side, with the plate in there. But yeah, they're looking for that energy return from the PEBA foam for the full length of the shoe, say in this midfoot section, but they know, or they've seen, that they can cut weight here but still get the same effect using these sort of contact points and the plate. But it is kind of weird looking, isn't it? You've got a nice ring of foam in there, so that helps with the comfort and the lockdown. The shoe looks a bit narrow in here. It does flare out at the back, but this is pinched in here. Again, I think that's to cut weight. It's very similar to a lot of the super shoes that are coming out now, where they're more like sort of focusing on this area and obviously leaving you a bit back here, which makes total sense, right? Because they want you sort of up here. But yeah, if you look, that's nice and, well, let's say wide-ish there, but let's say it's a bit skinny in the heel, but compared to, let's say, the Puma, it's a little bit wider here, and you don't have that sort of decoupled effect like on the Puma. So this rubber outsole is very thin, does feel quite tacky, and we'll see how we get on with that tomorrow. It's not meant to rain or anything like that tomorrow. Now, in terms of fit, this thing is snug. I would say watch your sizing on it. We'll see how I get on tomorrow in terms of rubbing and things like that, but just putting them on, it does feel nice and snug, which I kind of like in a racing shoe, so we'll see how that transpires tomorrow in the race. There's a little bit of support in the heel, which is good, and that's probably about it actually. So tomorrow we're going to try and push out a little bit of a time, try and go quicker than the Leeds Half Marathon where I ran 1:41. I'm looking at this shoe thinking, am I going to be able to run a marathon potentially in this shoe? It's got 40mm stack in the heel, but it doesn't look it, so it might be deceiving. But let's see how we get on tomorrow when we use it in anger. But yes, I'm excited because this is a shoe that looks pretty awesome. It's got some very good, cool technology in it, but does it all sort of add up to what could be a very good racing shoe? Let's see tomorrow, and then we'll come back into the studio and I'll let you know how I got on. Okay team, so we are back from the Hackney Half, slightly later than expected because I had to do a bit of a detour around London to get Daisy. Let's move you down here. So here we go, Hyperion Elite number 5 today. We ran 1:38 and change, according to my watch. Don't have the official time yet, but it'll be around something like that. And I have to say straight away, that I was very impressed with these today. One of the overriding things actually today was how privileged I feel being able to run in these today. There was nobody else in this shoe, so it really was a pleasure actually to be able to take these out today. So a big shout out to the guys from Brooks for getting these over to me, because I really enjoyed having these on my feet today. Now, if you don't know about the Hackney Half Marathon, it's a big half marathon. It's like a festival of running. 25,000 people taking part in it today. It was like the highest number they've had, and unusually for Hackney, it wasn't as warm as it usually is. So I was able to, put my foot down a little bit. I probably could have gone a little bit quicker, but it's quite, I'd say undulating course. It's not hilly, but it rolls through the Hackney and around those sort of areas. But it was good fun, it was busy, we ran hard, and if you look at the splits, I ran pretty consistently as well, and the shoe performed very well. So our biggest takeaways with the shoe is, firstly, it's not a marathon shoe for me. Secondly, it felt really sort of low to the ground, low slung. It didn't feel like it had 40 millimeters of stack. It felt light. The upper on this thing is brilliant. The outsole was phenomenal, although it wasn't wet or anything like that, but the outsole on this felt very sticky out on the roads today. The lockdown was phenomenal on this thing. It really was. These laces in this shoe and the whole lockdown is excellent. I had no problems in terms of like blisters or anything like that in this shoe, which is quite remarkable because I seem to be getting a lot of blisters at the moment in some of the shoes that I'm wearing, but I didn't have any of that trouble with these today. So yeah, I was around that sort of 440 per kilometre, 730 per mile. I did bring that down towards the end of the race, but that's roughly where I was at today. And the shoe felt great. It felt, under here, it felt very racy, very old school. It reminded me actually of how the Vaporfly 4's now gone. In the heel, which I wasn't really on much, I didn't really notice it. It wasn't like unstable or anything like that. But yeah, it was the overriding feeling of lightness and feeling of speed, a nice turnover to the shoe. It felt really smooth. The quicker it sort of got, the sort of smoother it got as well, which is a real nice plus with this shoe. And it is a noticeable change versus the 4PB, that this shoe is a lot smoother and a lot, just a lot more rolling. Definitely more noticeable in terms of lightweight. I don't know whether how much they've changed the foam in terms of the PB setup. The geometry has obviously changed on the shoe, but it definitely feels, a little bit more springy than what was on the 4PB as well. So look, Brooks have done a good job here. Whether this is a marathon shoe for many people, I'm not so sure. I think this is something that's going to be a half marathon shoe, maybe down to 10K for a lot of people. I know it's going to be a lot of money when it comes out, which is, something, but they're all around this sort of money. It's going to struggle, I think, against, the sort of Adidas Pro 4s of this world and those sort of big marathon shoes that are out there. But I think when you go below that, the Vaporfly 4 and those sort of shoes, this is a shoe that's worth having a look at. And I think the proof's in the pudding today, really. The fact that I could go out there, run 1:38 today, which is 3 minutes off my PB in terms of, like, my PB is 1:35. I felt comfortable. My legs didn't feel beaten up. I felt like I had more in the tank. The turnover was good. The feeling of speed was good. The lightness of it was good. And that's a big compliment to the shoe as well. It really worked well with me today on that sort of, undulating course. So there we go, people. I think the Brooks Hyperion Elite 5 is definitely a step up from the 4PB. They're hugely going in the right direction. I think they're doing incredible stuff with this PB foam. It's going to be really exciting to get this developed and get into, obviously, more shoes and things like that. We've got the Hyperion Max 3 in the rotation at the moment as well, with the PB foam in that as well. So the Brooks have really transformed their shoes when you think about it. And I'm excited to see how this shoe develops going forward. But yeah, whether this is a marathon shoe, I don't think so. I'd like to see something, although this has got 40mm stack, I'd like to see this a shoe like a little bit more marathon-y. This is more sort of traditional feeling, which is not a bad thing. It will suit a lot of you guys and girls out there. But I don't know, I'd also like to see like a more marathon-y shoe from Brooks for sort of, everyday runners like myself. I think for fast elite people, this is going to work. But for me, it's a little bit too, a little bit too more old school for me to run in the marathon. But the half marathon, it proved itself today. I will get this out for a 10K. I might even chuck this in for a 5K as well, just to see how it does. Maybe put it up against that new Puma we had on the channel the other week as well. So there we go, team. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this shoe? Are you excited to try this shoe? If you like the 4PB, you're going to absolutely love this. And I think, as I said, this is a good option versus some of the norm. I think this is a similar sort of shoe to the Vaporfly 4, if you're looking for that sort of shoe. And yeah, it's definitely a positive move in the right direction from Brooks. I'm going to keep running in it, as I said. I'm going to try it in the 10K, see how we get on, and I'll report back once we've done that. Right, team, so that's it from me. Let me know in the comments whether you're going to pull the trigger on this. I'm now going to go and get some dinner and watch the F1. Let me know in the comments whether you watch F1 as well and who your favourite driver is, and I shall catch you all later.